We're ready to head to your camp. Are you? Excellent. Lead the way.
You know, I never pictured myself as a hero. Never thought I'd be the one they'd toast for saving so many lives. And now that I'm here... I hate it. This is awful. True. That was fun. Still, I would have liked more for my trouble than a pat on the head and vinegar for wine.
It's a heavy, rich red, dry and sharp.
See what I mean? Awful. All I want is a little fun. Is that so much to ask? By the hells. Sex, my dear. A night of passion. Not with you, just to be clear. I mean, can you imagine? Ugh, no. Anyway, don't let me keep you. I'm sure you have someone else to sniff around.
You have no idea how good it feels to see these people smiling. The singing we could probably do without, but even so, thank you.
Go on now. Don't waste a night like this talking to me. We'll discuss your problem tomorrow. Later, perhaps. Don't worry about me. A night under the stars amidst nature's creation is just what I need after being locked up in the Goblin's dungeon. Go on, enjoy yourself. Seek out some wine before it runs dry. There are a lot of thirsty people around here.
Hope you're enjoying the night, hero. I certainly am. Cheers to many more like this.
This might be the wine talking, but I'm feeling inspired. Thinking of writing my next song about you. But I need an angle. Any ideas? Fitting. Seeing you fight makes me feel like I'm capable of anything. That deserves to be remembered.
Patience? Have you no respect for showmanship?
Having performance issues, Roland?
Hush you, and behold! Adoring applause? You're too kind.
Remember when he could barely cast that?
They grow up so fast.
Never have I met such troglodytes. Now, pass the wine.
That's more like it. Try not to get too close, Count.
Yes. Remember what happened last time?
I was 8, and you magicked up a kiss.
Thank you. I'm glad you sought me out. Amidst all this merriment, I wasn't sure we'd have a chance to speak this evening. I was hoping you'd spare me a moment. There was something rather magical I wish to show you. As they say in Waterdeep, in wine there is truth. That's usually followed by, in water there is good sense. I promise you, my offer is a perfectly sober one. So, what do you say? Too bad. One should never be afraid to live life to the fullest.
You're handsome.
You're drunk.
I am.
Look at them all. Guzzling poison like we've the right to be happy. Perhaps it'll make the evening more tolerable.
Everyone seems to be in high spirits. Strange. You know who I never thought I'd find myself caring for?
What?
No, don't be ridiculous. I mean, desperate people. Like those refugees. Never gave them much thought. Certainly not that bunch in the grove. Yet we came through for them. We saved their lives. Odd. That's more easily said by some than others. But nobody's here to debate right from wrong. We should have had wine more often. More warming than the fire.
There's always work for a guard.
Would you look at this place? All these people happy because of us. It's nice to be somewhere where good is still possible. And with good potations, too. I like you, too. A lot. I'm sure you know that by now. Oh, gods. You know I want that more than fucking anything. I'll come find you when the others have gone to bed. Wait up for me, all right? Yes.
Aha! There you are! Come now, settle in. I do hope you have partaken of something bracing. This may well take us all night. But I am engaged in celebration of the purest form. Commemoration. If we are to write your legend in the stars, then we must first give you a name. That ballad was but a crude preview, a frame without its crowning jewel. Your nom de guerre. Something iconic, but not too much of a mouthful. We don't want to exclude the common folk, after all. I intend this tale to enrapture all. A wonderful one indeed. But your deeds loom larger than life now, my friend. You simply must have a title to match. Exactly wrong, my friend. I urge you to leave the fact-finding to experts, Now, back to your revels. I have some details of your victory to rearrange.
I have seen the Kithraki tear a screaming Neogi's legs from its belly to fashion into blades. Yet they could not match your nerve today. It was enough to drive me to madness. A pity for us both you've turned your back on me so often. Vlaakith demands of me no less. If only you'd earned the right to lay at my side. Come morning, you will wonder. You will wonder how my lips might have tasted, how my fingers on your skin might have felt. Oh, but do enjoy yourself this night. I intend to myself.
Not this one, nor this one, and this one are less worthy still. Righting the balance. Beyond mortal realms, there doth exist an amalgamation of spirits akin to thine own, ensnared by the treacherous cult of the Absolute, felled in its name. They bear great discontentment with their destiny. For a mere pittance of coin, I might summon the worthiest among them to lend aid to thy undertaking. Most willingly, forsooth. Their passions doth run deep for what hath been wrought upon them. Suspicion always haunts the guilty mind. My services are all that I can proffer thee. What thou wilt do with them is for thee to undertake.
Ah, hells. I was hoping you wouldn't notice I was gone. Really? I'm honored. In truth, I don't feel in a festive mood, and I didn't want to cast a grey cloud over the night. I'm a devil. I love the people from the Grove, but I unsettle them deep down, as I seem to unsettle everyone nowadays. You don't want a devil at your party. Horns this sharp will pop the balloons, you see, and the guests won't take kindly to scars quite so monstrous. You pull them off far more finely than I do. But, off with you. This is your day. Have a dance. Enjoy the music. Some time alone beneath the stars, and I'll be back to my old self. Promise. Still, it's a night to remember. You've made sure of that.
Buzz of celebration quiets to a soothing hum as you approach your bunk. Your hand was sought by several, but there is only one knight ahead. Whose company will you seek? At least for tonight. Your heart skips a beat. What treasures might this night bestow?
Hey, a soldier. I think everyone's asleep. May I? Hello, you. I've been waiting for this all night.
Isn't it mad?
How good life is. Thank the gods. I was afraid I was the only one. 10 years is a long time to be trapped in the hells. 10 years without a kind word. A touch. When I look at you, I feel real again. Alive. Gods, I want to ride you till you see stars. I'm sorry. I shouldn't tease you, or myself. I'd give anything to touch you, but I can't. Not until I can be sure I won't burn you. I'll turn you to charcoal. Guaranteed. You can try, but don't hurt those pretty lips of yours, all right? They feature heavily in my future plans. Wait, no! Are you all right? You have no idea. If I weren't so worried about killing you, I'd be in a puddle on the floor. So, what do we do now? I like the sound of that. My turn. And that's a promise. On that note, I better head back to my bunk. You might not be able to touch me, but you've given me a lot to think about.
I trust you enjoyed your evening. After all your efforts, it was well deserved. It may be some time before you're afforded another such night. There is much to be done, and I promised I would help you however I could. I'm certain a cure for you can be found at Moonrise Towers, but it's complicated. The journey specifically, it's extremely perilous, though it seems you're well accustomed to navigating danger. Wait. There's more you need to know. To get to the towers, you'll need to pass through a terrible place. A cursed place. This curse shrouds everything in shadow. You will not find life, light, or anything natural there. Any who linger are twisted by the curse. They become shadow beings, tormented, dangerous souls. Nature speaks to me. Birds report what they've seen. And I've overheard goblins speaking of it too. Moonrise is at the heart of all this. I'm sure of it. You're half right. You have to get to Moonrise, but you still have a choice of how to get there. You could go overland, along the Risen Road or through the mountains. Easier at first, but you'll run into the Shadow Curse eventually. You could also go under. There is a tunnel somewhere in the ruined Temple of Selûne. It leads to Moonrise Towers through the Underdark. Long ago, a man called Ketheric Thorm built a secret stronghold deep down there, before rallying a whole army of Dark Justiciars, Shah worshippers.
Dark Justiciars. I must see for myself.
Aradin and his lot were looking for a way down there. They were promised riches if they retrieved a relic called the Night Song. But I think there's more. From this stronghold, Ketheric's forces could access both the Temple of Selûne and Moonrise Towers. But he was defeated before he could launch an attack. If you can find this place, I'll wager it will reveal a more direct path to Moonrise Towers. And maybe even bypass the worst of the Shadow Curse. Already? If only I'd gone with you instead of Aradin. I would like to join your camp, if you'll allow me. I can offer my skills, my counsel. I've long sought to return to Moonrise Towers. It seems our fates have aligned. I've chosen a successor as first druid, Francesca of the High Forest. A bird's already been dispatched to summon her. I'm glad you approve. I do not truly care if you approve, but I am glad. The Grove needs to move beyond the mistakes of the past. What it needs is an unknown quantity. An outsider who can enforce the Oakfather's teachings without bias. This is why I chose Francesca. She will restore simplicity and purity to the Grove in my absence. Indeed. We've quite the journey ahead of us.
What's on your mind? I question the wisdom of that decision, but so be it. I'll be here in the meantime, idling away the hours.
Oakfather's blessings to you. I studied one up close. Closer than most would care to be to those things. A drow attacked me and I defended myself. Afterwards, I was able to examine the tadpole that emerged. Hideous, but fascinating. Like nothing else in nature, I'm glad to say. It's had the whole region around Moonrise Towers in a chokehold of darkness and despair for years now. Those who remained are shadow-cursed. If you don't die at their hands, then you become one of them. We have to get to Moonrise. But the less time we spend in its blighted surrounds, the better. There are few things that are too strong for me. And cast those regrets aside. You did not get caught up in the moment. You seized it. In other circumstances, I would have done the same. A bad impression. Impossible. Precious little. But I'm quite certain it can still be found. Those illithid creatures threaten the natural order. It's my duty to do what I can to stop them. There's also the Shadow Curse. It's an affront and must be cleansed. I helped overthrow Ketheric Thorm and his Dark Justiciars years ago, but I failed to prevent him from unleashing darkness across the region before he was defeated. If I can join you and get close to Moonrise, perhaps I can lift this curse, just as you find a cure for your infection. Well, there's hardly anyone left to share the responsibility with. Few who witnessed the fall of Moonrise still draw breath. What Ketheric Thorm unleashed is not something that nature can undo by itself. I must do what I can. I studied the Shadow Curse for years, but to truly understand it and stop it, I must reach its source. With such stimulating company? Never better. Precisely. Then perhaps I could have done something about both the Shadow Curse and Ceremorphosis aberrations. But in my eagerness, I put far too much faith in the abilities of Aradin and his band. We didn't even get close. Perhaps. But we'll need to get closer before I can put my theory into practice. Put it from your mind for now. Once we near the curse, then there will be more to be said.
You know, I've been thinking, and I think there's something I should tell you. Nothing big or terrible, just a small little detail about me that hasn't come up naturally. It's just that I happen to be what's the best way to put this? A vampire. Right. Well, glad we got that out the way. So, was there anything else? What? Who? What happened? Back to Baldur's Gate. Back to Cazador. There's no other reason he'd want me alive. Cazador Zar is a vampire lord in Baldur's Gate. The patriarch of his coven, and a monster obsessed with power. He turned me nearly 200 years ago. I became his spawn, and he became my tormentor. Of course, he'd send a Gur to hunt me down. First, they make excellent monster hunters, so find a vampire spawn sounds perfectly reasonable to them. Second, they're the reason I'm like this in the first place. It was a group of Gur that attacked me that night in Baldur's Gate. I would have died had Cazador not appeared and saved me. Well, he didn't mention the slave clause at the time. And now he sends a Gur monster hunter for me. It's a message. He's reminding me of his power. Even in the middle of nowhere, he can reach me. And he wants me back. Aha! Safe! You think I'm safe? Do you know the power a vampire lord possesses? He can change shape, turn into mist, call walls to do his bidding, shrug off blows like they're nothing. He could walk into our camp tonight and kill you with his bare hands. And you'd be lucky if death was the worst thing that happened to you. You don't understand. You don't know him. Just trust me when I say we need to be careful. He'll send more lackeys. He has plenty of souls to command. We just have to be vigilant. Keep our wits about us. and kill any monster hunters on sight. Why do you insist on exhuming the past? I was a slave. A vampire spawn. Kept by the Tsar family. Perhaps I still am. I was never able to resist their commands. But now, I've been conveniently lost. They won't ever control me again. I won't lie. It's tempting. If I keep the tadpole, I risk transforming into a grotesque monster. If I lose the tadpole, Cazador has control of me, body and soul, and I return to the shadows. It's grim either way. So why not sell what's left of my soul to a devil? Better he has it than Cazador. Figuring out what's happening to us, confronting a god called the Absolute, and then finding time to kill my old master before he can control me once more? Yes, that's an option, but I wouldn't bet eternity on it.
Chatter already, Tusky?
Your skull trembles, your parasite wriggles. Lae'zel sees your memories of your confrontation with Kithrak Voss.
Voss? Justil Kithrak, Knight Supreme. An honorable warrior, Vlakith's finest. I am impressed. He wanted your head, yet it remains firmly atop your shoulders. A lesser man would be adorning the road as a shredded corpse. If by nice you mean truthful, then consider me positively pleasant. Now, to the point. The creche is not far from where you met Voss. We must go there immediately. Unless, of course, you'd rather sprout waxy tendrils where there were no tendrils before. Keep me at your side, and I will invoke protocol. It is my people's duty to aid infected Githyanki. Had I been traveling with you, we might have avoided the Knight's fury. It is a certainty. I had assumed our parasites served a Geich elder, but I believe they serve a greater master still. A question that burns in my belly day and night. Elders and collectives abide by their own tenets. It would require a powerful creed to unite them. And now this voice, this creed, finds our own ears. If it reaches this plane, it may reach others. I understand much beyond your comprehension. More to the point, I know the cure for our condition. It is imperative we locate a creche. You do well to observe more and question less.
How can I help? We all have our burdens, one way or the other.
With pleasure. Lead on.
A long way to go still.
Come on, let's go.
Which way to the nearest library?
well that ends not as bad as it could have.
Hey, you.
Where would you start? All night, and then some. Gods, we better find a way to cool me off soon. I'm not sure how much more of this I can take.
You know, I've been catching myself smiling more lately. I think that's your fault. I was. He mentioned Dark Justiciars, and we've come across other signs of a Sharan presence during our travels. I'm not sure I can dismiss that as a coincidence.
Let's march!
Still alive, so that's progress.
fire, baby. Under their noses.
Please, Mistra.
None more fear.
Moving.
This is gonna feel good. Tactical.
Shouldn't have made me your enemy. I speak, they burn. Knight to King 5.
Heading there.
Take two.
Put him up. Easy. Need to learn the hard way.
Invidia Via.
No surrender.
Ready. On the move.
Let's have a little
Another day, another fight. No gloom, all doom. Don't get too close.
for the alarm!
Absolute blessings!
Double.
What to do?
Can't afford to let up.
I don't fancy their chances.
What's the plan? Got to press on.
On my way. Roll in my favor.
got it.